Well, from weather trends to economic hurdles, farmers, they are watching a number of factors as we near the spring planting season. George Baird with the American Society of Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers joins us now with an update from his region. Always a pleasure, George. Finally here where we are, right? Warm weather conditions, they are rolling in, and especially in the Mid-South. I'd like to ask you what you're seeing in the way of field work and if you're seeing planting progress.
You know, what we've seen over the last several weeks is a lot of dry weather, a lot of opportunity to get in and do some additional tillage work, land planting, disking, rowing up crops. And I made a loop around, the Mid-South last week and across the south part of Arkansas and into Louisiana. Planters running, not full force yet, but yeah, they're hitting the fields and putting corn in the ground from there south. And most producers, though, I've talked to are trying to wait, for another 2 weeks or so, because like you and I both know, we're going to get that next snap of cold, wet weather, and it looks like some of that's playing out in the forecast. But further south you get, they're definitely rolling and starting to hit it pretty good down there. So things are looking, pretty good from that standpoint. Our key is to get the crop in the ground and beat, pollination, beat the heat. Yeah, that's our real key that we're trying to always hit here in the Mid-South.
Well, I know that, George, landowners, producers, they're seeing a significant change in acreage this year. Are they? Talk about what they've seen compared to previous years.
Dealing with farms personally that I work on, we're looking at a 25 to 40% reduction in rice acres on those rice bean farms. Some of that will go to cotton, most will go to corn, most will go to soybeans. On our cotton farms, unless the producer's tied with a gin, a lot of times those acres are going to go corn, maybe some beans. And I think we'll see overall 25% reduction in rice, which should help get our stocks down and help, get us back to more normal price levels. And cotton, much the same. I think we're going to see that significantly off. Just the input cost, continue to hinder us, not to mention what could be around the corner for input cost.
Yeah, there's still a lot of uncertainties, especially with everything going on right now. What about financial concerns? George, what are you hearing from producers?
I think a lot of too many people waited too long to try to understand FBA payments and SDRP payments, all these different opportunities and things that were getting thrown at us to get into and see their banker. So what we're hearing is a lot of banks decisions are behind, they're delayed, just because of now there's such a rush to get it done. And when it's just that much prevalent, when you see people in the field, right? And then your neighbor may not be in the field yet, there might be a reason. So there's still a lot of push to get those together. And then when you take in uncertainty of input costs, especially with the issues going on overseas, the uncertainty of oil prices, fertilizer prices, that just kind of, adds a pile on and more to be concerned about as producers are getting into the growing season.
Yeah,
it's definitely on everybody's mind.
Yeah, we're going to be addressing that farmer sentiment and, of course, just the challenges that continue to weigh on producers' minds. That's going to be coming up in the next half hour. But, George, always a pleasure. Nice weather where you are, so get out and enjoy it. I know you said you've got some farms to check on. We appreciate you, as always, giving us this information. George Baird with the American Society of Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers.